Hello everyone, welcome to Graphic Designers Workshop. Let us see how to design a trifold brochure in Photoshop. So let us start. Let us first create the document for brochure. So simply click on New, and the brochure we are going to make is, it's a travel brochure. So the name of the company is Vihari. So we'll be first creating the front page, and then we'll be creating the back page. So we'll select inches here, and we'll select A4 size landscape, right, and we'll put the best quality, and then we'll create the document. So this is the document which we are going to use for creating our trifold brochure. All the relevant images are placed inside a folder, and also the content that is required for our brochure is also saved inside the notepad. So we'll be using this content, and we'll be properly arranging the content in our trifold brochure. So we have here the front page content, and then we have here the back page content, right. So now we can start our brochure. So the first step to create our brochure is, we have to create a nice good looking background. So we will first create the design for our background. So we'll be first applying a gradient background. So simply select the gradient. So we'll be starting with a brownish gradient. So we'll select light brown and dark brown, and we'll select the radial gradient here. So the radial gradient has to be light in the middle and dark at the corners. So simply select the reverse option here, and then we'll create the gradient. So this is the first step. So now the next step is, we'll take a new layer, we'll select the pen tool, and we'll keep path here, and then we'll create a design. So simply click here, and we'll be creating a simple design here. So we'll adjust it. So make sure that the curvature is fine. Right. So once we have created this, we have selected a path here. So we can actually turn this path into a shape. Simply here we'll select the pen tool, and then here we have an option shape. So now we have turned the path into a shape, right. So then we can select these shapes so that this fill option will appear, and then we can click on the fill option, and we'll apply a gradient here, a simple gradient. We'll use a greenish gradient, dark green and light green. So something like this. And also we can use a reflected gradient we'll use, but make sure that the dark colors are at the corner and the light color is in the middle. and we can also change the angle for this gradient a little bit, right. So then we will take one more duplicate of this shape, and we'll select the bottom shape, and we can make it a pure green in color, a dark green. Right, and then we can slightly make it expanded, so something like this. So we'll just drag this top shape, this light green shape, a little upward like this, so that we can see both the designs. Right, you can nudge it. Okay, now it looks fine. So the next step we'll be doing is we'll be getting one ellipse. So just we will create one ellipse. We can take a new layer here, so we can simply hold a shift, and we can create an ellipse, and we will give it a pure yellow color, and we will just move it over here, and we will keep it below all the layers except the brown background. Right, something like this. Now it looks fine. Right, so this is the design, and we'll do one more thing. Instead of keeping just plain yellow color, we will also give some gradient so that it will be more attractive. So we'll just give it a orange and yellow gradient. And we'll make it radial, and make sure the center color is light. Right, so now we have completed the design for our background. So we can just give some names to it. So we can say the brown background. Naming is always a good idea, because if we give names, it will be easy to for us to identify the layers. Top light green BG, dark green BG, or we can say design, ellipse design. Right, and then now we can start the next things. So before proceeding, we will do one more thing, that is we'll give some layer styles to these designs actually. So for the dark green one, I will give a white stroke. It will be nice actually. So we can put the position as outside and slightly increase the size. Right, now it looks fine, and we can also give some drop shadow. Right, so we can see some light shadow. We'll do the same for this ellipse. So we'll give some drop shadow. Drop shadow is okay. So now we have to create 3 divisions of our trifold brochure. To create divisions, first we have to create guides, but also we have to know the exact divisions for this brochure. So we need to calculate here. So the actual width of this brochure is 11.6. You can check the size by hitting Ctrl Alt I. So when you hit Ctrl Alt I, you can check the size. Here it is 11.6 inches width, so we have to divide 11.6 inches by 3. So when you divide 11.6 by 3, you are going to get 3.8. so we have to create divisions which have a width of 3.8. so to create divisions, we'll take a new layer and then we'll create a marquee tool. So we'll start the marquee tool from the left corner, and we will stop it where it shows 3.8 as the width. So here we can see the marquee tool, the rectangular marquee tool, is showing 3.8 as the width. Release the mouse, and after you release the mouse, you need to create guides so that you will know the exact position of the lines of the divisions, right? And then we'll create one more guide. So these guides are these blue lines. So these guides will be available only if you turn on rulers. To turn on rulers, you have to hit Ctrl+R. So these are the rulers, and to create guides, you need to just drag from these rulers, drag one guide from these rulers, and snap it exactly at the end of this, at the right edge of this marquee tool. That's it. And now we can remove the marquee tool, or the selection that is created by the marquee tool, right? So now we have the guides. Now we need to create a folds. Actually we need to create the folds, 2 folds we need to create exactly at the place where these guides are located. So to create these folds, so what we'll be doing is, so we'll be again selecting the rectangular marquee tool, and I'll be drawing one rectangular marquee tool at the center here, and then I will select a gradient, and this is a black and white gradient, pure black and pure white, and then I will just click OK, and then make sure that you are using the linear gradient and simply drag it like this. So we'll drag from the right edge to the left edge, and then what we'll do is we'll apply a mask to this. So simply click on this mask icon at the bottom of the layers panel, and again for the mask we'll use the same black and white gradient, and simply click OK. Make sure that the mask thumbnail is active, and then we will just drag from right corner to the left corner, or sorry, from the left corner to the right corner, so something like this. And the next thing we'll do is we will reduce the opacity here, right, something around the 38. That's it. And if we remove this guide, see, we can see one line here. So we'll just take a duplicate of this layer, and then we'll simply drag the another this line onto the right side, and we can remove this guide as well. Now we can see we have created folds. So this is the important thing here. So if we have folds, it's easy for us to identify the columns, right? Now we are all set to put the content here, but before putting the content, I also want to create the back side or the back page of this brochure. So to create the back page, it's very easy. Just we have to duplicate this. So simply on top of this document, just right click and select the duplicate option, and then click on OK. A duplicate is created, but we want to change the design a little bit. It should not look exactly like what it is in the front page. So what we are supposed to do is we will flip these shapes. So we'll select the first this top green BG, and then we'll right click and we'll say flip horizontal, and then we'll do the same thing for this one also. We'll say flip horizontal, and we will just slightly arrange it, adjust it, sorry. Something like this. And then we'll also change the position of this yellow circle. So we'll place it over here. So we can lock these layers. Right. So this is the simple thing. This is the only thing we need. Right. So now our design is ready. All we have to do is put the content. We'll start with the front page. We'll first get the logo. So simply go to File and Open and browse to the logo, and then simply get the logo, and we'll just drag the logo and we'll place it here. Just scale it. Right. So we can convert it into a smart object in case we don't want its quality to come down. Okay, if we want to maintain its resolution, we can convert it into a smart object. Right. And also we can apply a slight stroke to this. Make sure that the stroke size is not too much. Right. 4 is okay. Right. And we can just take the content from this notepad document. So here we have the caption, the title actually, the title for our brochure. So simply we can create a text block here, and then we'll paste the matter. So we'll also select a pure white color. And we'll keep it here. Reduce the size a little bit. Right. Right. So here we'll put some other content in this column. So the heading is features. So we'll use a Great Vibes font, and also we'll use a pure blue color, dark blue color text, and we'll left align it. We'll keep it here. Right. Then we'll get this content. We'll create a text block here. We'll just copy the content and paste it over here. We'll slightly reduce the size. Right. And also we will give some leading to this text actually. So we'll give some leading from the character panel here. Right. right. So now we'll put the content in the middle column. So to put the content in the middle column, so we'll first start with an image. So we'll put an image in this middle column and then we'll put the content. So for image, I'll be selecting one, ellipse tool, and then we'll hold shift to create a perfect ellipse here, and then we'll be placing the image inside this ellipse. So simply browse to the image. So this is the image actually, so we will just drag the image and we'll drag the image onto this ellipse, and we will use clipping mask. To use clipping mask, simply hold Alt and come in between these two layers, the ellipse layer and the image layer. Make sure that the image layer is on top of the ellipse layer. So simply hold Alt and click. The moment this down pointing arrow appears, just click. See, now the image is inside this ellipse. We can adjust the image properly. Right. Right. Then we'll merge these two layers. So simply select these two layers holding shift and then hit Ctrl E to merge. Right. And we will also apply a layer style to this ellipse. We'll apply a stroke, a white stroke, and also a drop shadow. Right. That's it. Right. And we can nudge this ellipse a little bit, right, so that we'll be also having space for the content at the bottom. Right. So the next thing we'll do is, before putting the content over here, I will put one content on top of this middle column. So we'll select this mega discount here. So just we'll copy this, right, and then we'll select the type tool, create a text block, and then paste it. Hit Ctrl A to select all the text. This time we'll be using impact as the font, right, and also we will go to the character panel and we will reduce the size here, reduce the points actually, right. We'll center align the text, right. And one thing we'll do is we'll create a box which acts as a background for this text. So we'll first give it some color here, white color, and then we'll create a box. We'll use this rounded rectangle tool. So simply select the rounded rectangle tool and create a box, something like this, right, and we'll give some gradient color to this. And we will use reflected gradient here, and make sure that the light color is at the middle, right. Now it looks fine, and we can also give a simple white stroke, right. Now it looks good, and we'll just keep it over here. Let us scale it a little bit and select the text and place it over this shape. Just reduce the size here, right. Right. We can scale it a little bit. Now we'll put the content at the bottom of this middle column. So we'll just copy the content and then we'll select the text. We'll create a text block and then we'll paste the content. So we'll also scale it down. Right, and we will also change the line gap by using this leading option, and just we will try to scale the text so that the text is visible here. So we have to just be patient, we have to adjust it properly. Right. Right. Now it looks fine. Now we'll concentrate on the third column, the last column. So first thing what we'll do is we'll check the content here. So here we have this hurry 30% off for coupon available before 30 April. So what we'll do is we'll put the text inside a shape. The shape I have downloaded from internet, so just I will use this shape. We can also create it in Photoshop, but it will take time. So what we'll do is we can simply download it from internet and I will place it over here. So simply place it over here. Right, then I will also apply a stroke to it, a white stroke, and also a drop shadow. Right, now it looks fine. Now we'll get the content. So simply copy the content, just create a text block here and paste it. Right, so we'll just slightly scale it. We'll also use the character panel to adjust the line gap. Right, so now we'll just put this text on this shape, just scale it down. Right, and we will also give some for the text. Actually we'll also give some drop shadow for the text. Yeah, right. So we just have a few more things for the third column. So that is we'll put the phone number. So here we have the phone. So for phone we will select the phone icon. So I have downloaded the phone icon from internet. So simply I will use that phone icon. So simply open it. So here is the phone icon. So we'll change the color. So we'll use a red color here. So and we'll drag it. We can scale it a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll also create a shape behind this phone icon. So what we'll do is we will use the ellipse tool and create a ellipse, and we will use a bluish gradient. And we will use the reflected gradient style and make sure the light color is at the middle. We can slightly change the angle here, and also we will give some stroke. Right, So now we will put this ellipse behind the phone icon, right, and we'll select both the layers and let's scale it down. We'll slightly adjust the phone icon, we'll rotate it a little bit, right. So now let's put the phone numbers. So simply select the phone numbers here, just copy them, and then we'll create a text block here, and we'll put the numbers. We'll give them a pure yellow color, right, and also we will reduce the line gap, right. This looks fine, right. So we need one last thing for this column, that is okay, we have a website, email, and also address. So we'll just copy the website address as well as the email address, email contact. So we'll just create a text block here, and we'll paste it. We'll also reduce the size, and then we'll also increase the line gap, right. That's it. And we can slightly move the phone numbers and the phone icon. Just select all the layers and then move it, right. The last thing we are supposed to do is we'll put the address here. So to put the address, we'll create a shape. This time we'll be using the rounded rectangle tool, and what we'll do is we'll simply create a rounded rectangle here, so something like this, and we will use a pure yellow and orange gradient. And we'll also change the angle here, right, and we can give some stroke also, right. So in this block we'll be putting our address, right. So let's get the address. Simply copy the address, and we'll just log this layer, and we'll create a text block here, and we'll paste the address, right. We'll put the address in pure blue color, dark blue color, and we will reduce the line gap here, and also we'll reduce the size, right. We'll slightly increase the size here, right. So now we are done with the front page. We are now going to start the back page. So again, in the back page we'll be placing our logo. So we'll simply select our logo, and just drag it, and also we have to convert it into a smart object so that its quality will not come down. So just we'll keep it over here, right. And we can give some stroke to it, a simple white stroke. Right. And also we have to put the caption here. So the caption has to be at the top of this left column. So we'll create a text block here, and then we'll paste our caption. So we can give it a pure bluish color, right. Right. We can slightly increase the size. Right. So now we'll put the content for our left column, or the first column of the back page. This is the content here. So we will just select the heading, which is specials, and then we'll select the text. We'll first create the heading. We'll give it a pure white color, right. Just nudge it a little bit up, right. So then we'll get the next content here. So just copy this, so we can slightly adjust it and copy it, and then we'll create a text block here and then paste. See, the text is all messed up because of the line gap, so we will try to adjust the line gap here, and also we'll reduce the size. So we can adjust the text a little bit, right. And also we can again increase the line gap here. Right. So I have slightly increased the size of the text. So you have to do some trial and error to adjust it properly here. Right. So now we'll put the final content for this left column. So we'll just create a text block here. And then we will select the text, and then we'll just paste it. So we'll adjust it. We'll go to the character panel, and then we'll slightly adjust the text. We'll also reduce the text size, right. So just adjust it properly. So we have to make it into a 4 lines of text. Right. So something like this. Right. So just adjust it properly. Right. And then we'll give it a pure yellow color. Right. So to make it more interesting, we can actually give it a rounded outline, actually a rounded rectangular outline using the rounded rectangle tool. So we can turn off this fill and we can give it a yellow outline. We can also slightly reduce the size of the stroke, the yellow stroke. Right, now it looks fine. Right, now we'll focus on this middle column. So what we'll do is, first we'll place an image here. So we have already seen in the front page we have created one ellipse and we have put an image inside that ellipse. So we'll do the same thing for this page. So we'll just create a perfect ellipse here and we'll give it some color. Oh sorry, we have to actually just take it and take a new layer here. Yeah, so now we'll create an ellipse and we'll get the image. So we'll select this image and we'll simply drag it here and we will use clipping mask. Again, Alt and click in between these two layers. Right, we'll adjust the image properly. Right, and we'll merge these two layers. We'll give some slight stroke to the image and also a drop shadow. Right, now it looks fine. So just we have a few more things left. So what we'll do is we'll actually try to select this ellipse and this yellow ellipse. We'll keep it over here, actually just make it big. We'll also make it big here. Just keep it like this. Right, now it looks fine. Right, so now we have to put a few more things. So that is, so here we have to put this Facebook, Twitter, all the social media links here. So what we'll do is we'll get the social media image actually. So we'll be having all the social media platforms images. So we'll first close all these irrelevant things that we have already finished. Right, so now we'll get the social media images. So now what we'll do is, so here we will get the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, and also the WhatsApp. So we'll unlock the background. We only take we'll only take the 4 social media icons. So what we'll do is, first we'll remove the background using the magic eraser, and then we'll go to select and we'll select this color range. We'll pick this black color. Now we got a selection around this black color. So now what we'll do is we will turn this black into red. Right, so now we'll take these 4 icons. First we'll take this Facebook icon. Just draw a selection around this Facebook icon select the move tool and then drag it and keep it over here. Right. We can scale it, adjust it properly, and so we can actually change the size here. We can say 120, 140. Right. And we'll do the same for other icons. We'll now select this YouTube, and we'll use the same size here. So we'll put 140% here. Right. We can also give some slight stroke, a small stroke actually. Okay, this much is okay, and we'll put the same stroke for Facebook. Right. So now we'll get one more icon, Twitter, and we'll keep it over here. And for this one also we will use 140%. And we'll also apply the layer style for this. Right. We can slightly adjust the placement. Right. So then we'll get the final icon, which is WhatsApp, and we'll keep it over here, and we'll put 140% here. Right. And again for WhatsApp we will use the same layer style. Right. So now we got all the social media icons. All we have to do is just put the links for these icons. So first we'll start with this Facebook. Just copy it. We'll create a text block here. Just paste it, and we'll slightly scale it down. So we can increase the size. Right. And we can give it a pure blue color. The blue looks nice over yellow background. So again we'll take a duplicate of this. We'll just drag it over here. Select it, and then we will just use the YouTube link here. We can slightly scale it. We can left align it. Right. Then we will get the Twitter. So it's actually twitter.com/Vihari Travel. So we'll just copy this, and then we'll create a text block. and we will paste it. Right, and we will just adjust it properly. And the last one is actually it's WhatsApp. So for WhatsApp, it's not Instagram, it's WhatsApp. So we'll just copy this, and then just will paste it. So that's it. Right, so now we have placed all the links related to these social media platforms. So now we only have this third and the final column. So in the third column, we'll first select this topmost content. Just copy this, and we'll create a text block here. We'll remove the default content and then paste it, or paste the content that we want. So we will also try to increase the line gap. Right, and we will center align this. Okay, just center align to this column. Right, and blue is looking nice. Right, so then we will place the content over here, so which is this is a little big one, so we'll just copy it and we'll create a text block here, and then remove the default content and paste it. We'll slightly reduce the size, and also we will reduce the line gap. Right, so we can increase the size a little bit. Right, right. So the last thing we are left to do is we have to just put images at the bottom, and a small text content is also there. We have to finish off putting these images and the text content. So we'll first get the image. So we'll simply drag this image and place it here, and we'll put this image inside a shape. So what we'll do is first we'll hide the image, we'll get the shape, we'll just create a circle or an ellipse, and then we'll just put this car image inside this ellipse, and we will also adjust it properly. Right, make sure that the car is visible here. You can also slightly increase the size of the ellipse. Right, and then we can merge these two layers, and slightly we will scale it down. We'll keep a value of 70%. Right, and we'll get one more image. So that is this Enfield image. We'll just drag it and keep it over here. So this is a travels brochure. So here these vehicles are available for rent. So that is a thing. So just we will create a circle here, and then we'll just put this image inside this circle, and we will adjust the image. Right, and we will merge these two layers. Right. So now we'll just place the content below these two ellipses and make sure that the ellipse is parallel to the other ellipse. Right. Alignment is necessary actually. Right. And before putting the content, we will just give some layer style to it. Just simple layer style. We can give some, okay, white stroke is better. Right. And also a small drop shadow. Right. And also we will put the same thing for the for this car image. So we'll just hold Alt and drag this FX icon and drop it over this car image. Right. That's it. So we'll finish it off by just putting this small text content here. So just we'll create a text block and then paste. We'll also reduce the size of the text. We'll also reduce the line gap here. Right. And then we'll just duplicate this text, just drag it to the right, and for this we will just copy this text, two-wheeler renter available, and then we'll paste it. Right. Right. So this is it. We have completed the brochure, the back side of the brochure as well as the front side of the brochure. So we can do some small changes if you want. For example, this star is there here, so we can just select the star, and in case we want to give it a different background or a gradient, so we can give, let's give it a yellowish and orangish gradient. So just an orange. Right. And we can give it a radial. Right. Now it looks fine. That's it. So this is the front side, and this is the back side. Now the only thing left for us to do is we have to save both these files as JPEG files, both these documents as JPEG files. So what we'll do is we can create a common layer here. So simply use Ctrl Alt Shift and E, and then for the back side also we'll do the same thing, Ctrl Alt Shift and E, and then we can convert it into a CMYK color mode. Actually we can use CMYK color mode and make it compatible for printers. Okay, what we can do is simply go to image mode and we can select CMYK, and here a message pops up. We can say don't merge and also don't rasterize, and simply click OK, and then we'll do the same thing for the back side. We'll go to image mode, CMYK color, just we'll use don't merge, don't rasterize, and simply click OK. Right. It becomes a little bit light actually, so it is actually a right option for the printers. So now we will save it. Simply go to file, save as, and we will save on our computer inside the folder, actually the folder that we have created. So we'll say Bihari front. So we'll use JPEG format, and we will save, and we'll do the same thing for the back one. Save as. We'll select the JPEG and we'll use Vihari back. That's it. So now we'll check the output. So this is the front side of the brochure, and this is the back side of the brochure. So both these things are ready for print. So this is how we can create a trifold brochure in Photoshop. So I hope you like it. I hope you have watched the entire tutorial. Please do subscribe, like, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.